experienced a kind of insurrection by some people who wanted to set up a communist state in Malaysia. In our fight to protect ourselves, we received a lot of help from Thailand. In fact, until the very end, Thailand was very helpful in providing the insurrectionists who were of Malaysian origin to stay in Thailand and even given land by the Thai government. So that is something that we valued very much. And now, of course, we have Thailand has got problems in the south, and we feel that it is our duty to help Thailand resolve the problems in the south. Other than that, we have been good trading partners. Malaysia's trade with Thailand is second biggest after Singapore. But Thailand's trade with Malaysia is the biggest among the ASEAN countries. And we feel that this can grow even further to contribute towards the economic growth and development of both Malaysia and Thailand. We have followed a line of foreign affairs. Our foreign affairs is one of being neutral. We are not involved in any wars between countries. We want, as an independent country, we want to be neutral. This we were very grateful because when we had our internal insurrection, we still got help from Thailand. Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, Indonesia, and the Philippines conceived the idea of a regional grouping. And we formed ASEAN when the President Suharto took over Indonesia. This was a grouping of developing countries. We were not very rich. We were actually poor countries, but we decided that there is no point in carrying out conflicts between our countries, that it is far better to live at peace with each other than to go to war because of overlapping claims to territories. And so when we form ASEAN, the intention is not to have a collaboration in terms of trade and the economy. The purpose, the initial purpose of the formation of ASEAN was to bring the leaders of the 5 countries together to settle their differences without having to resort to violence. And so the formation of ASEAN resulted in Southeast Asia becoming peaceful and stable. And because of this, other ASEAN countries decided to join the grouping, and today we have 10 members of ASEAN. Of course, 5 of them were the founders of ASEAN. This has proven to be a success in a way. It was not a success as an economic entity. ASEAN has become a success in terms of preserving peace and stability in the region. Yes, we may have differences, overlapping claims, but ASEAN has shown the world that overlapping claims can be settled without having to go through war. This, with Thailand, for example, there was overlapping claim in the seas on the east coast of the peninsula and on end of South Thailand. Normally, the dispute would not be resolved easily, but the leaders of Thailand and Malaysia decided that the best way to resolve problems of overlapping claims in the sea where there might be oil is to agree to share the production of oil or gas within the two countries, 50-50. This is a unique arrangement which is never seen in any other country. This is something that we should value because we settle our differences through negotiation. There were no public demonstration or violence threatening to invade or any such movement. But the two prime ministers at that time, it was Tun Hussein On, who was the prime minister of Thailand, of Malaysia, and he decided that the best settlement would be to share the products of this area. And today, under the joint development agreement between Malaysia and Thailand, the products of gas in that area is divided 50-50 for Thailand and for Malaysia. Maybe this is not too significant for many countries, but to us this means that we can resolve problems through non-violent means. Indeed, we had problems with Indonesia, claim over 2 islands in the seas of the state of Sabah, and we also have overlapping claim between Singapore and Malaysia, and both these claims were settled finally by going to the World Court. To go to the World Court, we must first agree that whatever decision is made by the World Court, we must accept. And so, when we went to the World Court, in the case of Indonesia and Malaysia, the 2 islands were awarded to Malaysia. But unfortunately, when the case between Singapore and Malaysia came up for their consideration, they decided to give this rock to Singapore. That I think they made a very big mistake there. But anyway, we have promised to accept. So now the rock is Singapore property, but we still retain 2 tiny rocks as ours. Otherwise, we could have gone to war with Singapore and destroy each other, kill each other. But that is a very silly way of settling conflicts. Going to war is not the way to settle conflicts, because in the end, neither the winner nor the vanquished would gain anything from all the sacrifices, the bloodshed, the damage that happens to a country during war. So it is our hope that whenever there is any differences between the countries of Southeast Asia, these should be settled through peaceful means. And I'm very glad that as far as Thailand is concerned, there was no dispute after that. We are now producing gas from there, and the gas is being divided, allocated to 50% to Thailand and 50% to Malaysia. Other than that, we of course have border problems. That happens to every country. When people live near the border, they tend to disregard the border. They tend to cross to and fro, especially as the people are of the same ethnic group, and they would have relatives on both sides of the border. This has caused some problems for us, but we can settle this thing through discussion and determining who has the right to cross the border and who should be treated as nationals of Thailand or of Malaysia. Then, of course, as I said just now, Malaysia experienced an insurrection by her citizens who wanted to overthrow the government that took over the country after independence. This war took the form of guerrilla war, and it was so difficult to put an end to a guerrilla war. When I told Nelson Mandela that we did not get rid of this problem through fighting alone. We have this policy of winning the hearts and minds of the people. And eventually, the people, the insurrectionists, were willing to accept a peaceful solution to the problem in northern Malaysia. But we did this with the help of Thailand. The Thai government has been unstinting in providing a lot of help, including accepting our insurrectionists to live in Thailand. This shows that if countries have conflicts, it is better, easier to resolve the conflicts through peaceful means. That is what we believe in Malaysia. We don't believe in wars. We want to help. We want to settle problems through negotiation, or through arbitration, or through a court of law. That way, we avoid conflict. We avoid violence and subsequent death and destruction. Ever since I became Prime Minister in 1981, I had been able to conduct good relations with Thailand, as we do, of course, with the other ASEAN countries. Even the confrontation by Indonesia ended peacefully, and the claims by the Philippines also does not result in any violence. But with Thailand, we do have problems of people who run away from Thailand to seek safety in Malaysia. But we have always been able to cooperate with Thailand so that the violence can be stopped, and we do not have any border problem anymore. So, on the whole, Malaysia's relation with Thailand has been very good. I would like to claim that it is a model of peaceful relationship between two neighboring countries. Should there be a conflict, we should resolve the conflict by non-violent means, and the cost would be very much less than if we resort to fighting each other. We know Thai leaders very well, and Thai leaders are very well acquainted with Malaysian leaders. In fact, the country promotes personal contacts between the leaders of the two countries, so that whenever there is a problem, they can resolve it by their own friendly discussion over the issues. This is the story of Malaysia and Thailand, and I hope